it's got a massive 3-finger gap in the front. It's a 3-finger gap in the rear. So we're gonna get this thing lowered. We're gonna get this thing dropped on some H&R blue. Fingers, it's like a 1-finger gap now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Monji TV. On today's episode, we've got this 2024 BMW M240i X-Drive that actually belongs to my brother-in-law here, so I'm hooking him up with some lowering springs. He just picked this thing up about a week ago. It literally has like 5,000 miles on it, and it's got a massive 3-finger gap in the front and roughly probably about the same in the rear, almost a 3-finger gap in the rear. So we're gonna get this thing lowered. We're gonna try and get some spacers for it today if we can, and some extended lugs. This guy literally has had this thing for what? We picked it up, what, last Saturday? Tuesday? Yep. So it's been 1 week, 8 days, and we're already modifying it. What else do you expect from us? We're gonna get this thing dropped on some H&R blues, I believe. I think they only make the blue springs for this car. We've got some H&R lowering springs. We're gonna take this thing for a drive real quick, see how it feels on the stock suspension, and then we'll pull it in, we'll get the lowering springs on, and then we'll give you guys a true update and our opinion on the feeling of the car after we lower it. Goddamn C-Max truck. So yeah, after we lower it, we'll give you guys a full-on experience and our opinion on how the car rides before and after, but I'm imagining it's gonna be better. So let's get this thing on the road, test it, and get it in the shop. All right, guys, so we're in the 240 now. We're gonna start this bad boy up. We'll drive it in both eco mode and sport mode because this thing does have EDC, so we've got comfort suspension. So we'll see how it feels in the comfort setting versus the sport setting, and then also with the lowering springs afterwards. We'll do both. I don't know if you've noticed though on these, if you do this but then you gas it, it releases itself on its own. You know that? I guess you had it in your other car.
Yeah, it's the same.
Which is kind of nice if you forget it, right? Are we in eco mode right now? Let's put it in Eco Pro, which should put it in comfort and everything. Have you looked at the Eco Pro individual settings? Do you notice the difference in the ride much between comfort and sport?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
Different car.
Yeah, I mean, it actually, just even right now in the parking lot, it does feel, it's way more dailyable in the eco mode.
Very chill.
Very chill. Cool. Well, as you guys know, we love our 2 Series, so I'm very happy that he ended up in this car because he was looking at like some 330s, and back in France where he's from, he also had, what, they're like 316s there though? 18? Oh, was it 320? But overall, just driving down the road, it's pretty plush, pretty honestly tame, smooth, like you would expect of any street car. It's a little bit stiffer than like a 330 or like the 320. You definitely still feel that it's like an M car. It's an M240, so you definitely can notice that it's still soaking up the bumps a little bit harsher than like a typical street car would. But anyhow, we've got a good little bump up here, which we'll kind of blast through, give us a good opinion of how it goes through the suspension travel. It's plush. Doesn't like bottom out or give you any like harsh feedback through the steering wheel or through the, you know, your seat, your butt. But we'll put it in Sport Plus real quick. Same thing as.
Yep.
Okay. Should put it in freaking. That doesn't tell us, but definitely a big difference. Yeah, it's way stiffer. Honestly, I'm super excited to get this thing lowered. Do you notice the steering much? Does it have a different like steering feel between Eco Pro and like my car does? But yeah, it is lazier. It's smoother. It's almost like it doesn't turn as sharp, but it does.
No,
Obviously, it does.
Ready?
Yeah. Yeah, the steering gets way stiffer. The middle, what it is like right in the middle, like from here to here. Feels way tighter, but in Eco it's kind of loose and like lazy feeling. Brakes are like,
yeah, brakes on. I don't like the brakes.
Yeah,
On that.
they don't grab like they should.
Yeah.
Yeah, like even through there, that's nice. Feels tight. You know, it's a brand new car. What else would you expect, right? But with the lowering springs, I imagine it's going to feel even tighter. So we're excited to get those things installed. Honestly, there's not much to feel. It's a stock car. I'm excited to see the final ride height though once we get the thing lowered. So we'll pull the car in now. There is a huge difference between Eco Pro and Sport, but I'm curious to see if Eco Pro feels more like Sport before the lowering springs, and Sport Plus, my guess, is going to be even stiffer with the H&R. So we'll get this bad boy pulled into the shop now, get this thing on the lift, and we will get the lowering springs on her. I know that wasn't much of a test drive, guys, but do we really care what it drives like stock? If you have one of these, you know what it drives like stock. All right, we got it up on the blocks, set the steering wheel straight, turn this bad boy off. Oh, it's just trying to come down. It's all right. The wood just kicked out.
I mean, this is pretty.
It's pretty? You called it pretty? You know, that's funny because my car doesn't have this when the sunroof's open. I wonder why they would do that on the 240 but not on the M2. It's really weird. I don't know, guys. If you do know why, comment down below. Why would they do that on the M240 but not on the M2? Let's get this bad boy up in the air, get the wheels off, and get the suspension changed out. Does this thing have a part number on it? Let's see. Yeah, there's the part number, guys, for all you X-Drive 340, 440, and 240 guys. It's a 28662-2 H&R, one of the best companies. Although I would have liked to put some ASTs on this thing. The ASTs are a little bit more aggressive of a drop, and he still kind of wants a nice daily driver. So we opted to go with the H&Rs because they're really a safe drop. They're not too extreme. So let's get these bad boys open. Do the pleasures. The other side needs to be cut. And then we'll put all the old springs back in here. So if you ever want to go back, probably never will, but woohoo! There they are. What's really nice about the H&Rs, which if they require, they'll supply bump stops. They haven't here. I've been seeing, actually, I have a customer that has a 340 that we just had to repair. He did the iBox springs, and iBox even admitted, because it's a progressive spring, that they were having issues where it's getting spring bind. So we should have none of that issues with spring bind on these H&Rs because they don't use a progressive spring. So anyhow, we're gonna get this thing out, get the wheels off, and yeah, get these bad boys fitted.
I see the world though, gotta keep flat, gotta keep close with my bros. Yeah, they know. Man, I feel myself getting better. About yo, my guns and butter and all that chinchilla. You're the best thing since Floyd out this Mayweather. You know exactly that my nigga go together. We stay down, trying to make pound, trying to see exactly how this life can go for us now. Search history. So don't go if it's getting to move a little different with me. Cause I can see where your energy is, I know you're fucking with me. And if your guy's moving free, you need to let that man go.
All right, guys, so as you just saw, we pulled out the shock bolt here. It's 18 on both sides, and then this is a, I think, E14 or E16 and 21 on the back side. So that allows us to pull the spring out. You gotta be careful. On the driver's side, there's a headlight level sensor, so we're gonna go ahead and pop the headlight level sensor off, and then we'll do the same. We've already popped the bolts here. You can see the shock bolt is missing, and the nut on the back side of the 21 is also missing. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the level sensor, and then we'll do the same to this side.
Yeah, I'm on my work, every single twist, turn nothing. I can see a couple boys fronting. Why they even acting like I won't push a button, touch a button? I leave a boy's head tops. Hey, gal them sugar, yeah, they know what's up. Do it for the strats, boy, why you want play tough? But where I'm from, any bad boy can get touched. So why you out there moving all that nuts? Tell them in your search history. So don't go if it's sketchy, you're moving a little different with me. Cause I can see where your energy is, I know you're fucking with me. And if your guy's moving free, you need to let that man go.
All right, guys, the rear H&R spring is in, as you can see. The shock bolt is 100 Newton meters plus 90 degrees. The outer is 180 Newton meters. They've both been torqued on both sides. The last thing to do is put the level sensor on, which we're just gonna pop this on with some pliers right here. This guy just pops over that little ball socket there. We're gonna put our little 10s and our covers back on, and then we're gonna move on to the front. All right, guys, working on the front now. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect all of the shock sensors and the brake lines and stuff. But basically, you got one here, one there. You've got a bunch of clips around the back. I've already started to disconnect, like the brake wear sensor clip. We've got this brake line, little rubber here. All of these guys just get pulled out. So be sure to pull everything out of the way and pull it off of the frame even up here. You need as much slack as possible when we're putting these springs in. So you've got to go ahead and pull all this stuff out. It's really hard to do with one hand, but you guys get the idea. I'll show you guys here in a bit. We're also gonna pop the end link, most likely. Maybe not, maybe. And we're gonna go ahead and pull this top center shock bolt here and bring the whole thing down. Tip it outward, pull the spring off, put the new spring on, and tip it all back in. So let's get this thing all apart. All right guys, so you can see here I've got the end link undone. I've got this harness here undone. We've got this and the brake line as well undone. This is the ABS speed sensor. We've got the brake wear sensor just unplugged completely so we don't damage it. I'm gonna go ahead now, after pulling off the covers up here, we've got this cover with a couple pop clips, 4 to be exact, and our little cover, which has a turn, little lock system, super easy. We're gonna go ahead and pop this center bolt, which I believe is an 18 mil. And before we do that, we're gonna put a jack under the control arm so it doesn't just pop down. And then we'll go ahead and carefully pull the coil over all the way down and tip it out. And I'll show you that here in a sec.
I will go upside down. The planet done talking, things are turning around against you and me, him and her. The mother earth is unleashing the wrath that humanity's worth. We know what time it is, 2020 year of the punishment. The COVID hit hard and it's tougher than never been. The years just settle in. I wonder what's coming. Gotta be honest, yeah, the shit is bugging. Aight, come on, you don't stop, you don't stop. What's happening in the world today? You don't. We need to make a change one day.
All right guys, everything is in and back together. You can see the H&R springs, all of the shock sensors and EDC plugs, brake wear sensor, everything is clipped in as it should be. Even the little box that it lives in is closed. We've torqued the sway bar end link here, this nut here, to 44 Newton meters as well as the top. We've torqued the axle to 220 foot-pounds and everything is good. We're gonna go ahead and put the covers back on, put all the pop clips back in it, and put the wheels on, set this thing down, get a final look at the ride height. So super excited. Are you excited?
Right.
Ready to go for a drive?
Yep.
So we'll get this thing back together and make it happen. All right guys, everything is all done. We've got the panels locked in place here with the little twist tab. All the little pop clips are back in place. Everything is looking good. So we're gonna take this thing up a bit and get the wheels on. All right guys, wheels are on. We're gonna bring the car down. Final ride height here. There's nowhere good to put you guys, so I'm gonna bring the car down and show you in a bit. All right guys, Flo's gonna back the car out real quick. You can already see it's like not even 2 fingers. It's like a 1 finger gap now. Back in that way. Okay, now straight. Keep going, perfect. Straight, straight. Other way, turn your wheel the other way. Yeah, straight. All good? Go the other way, make sure there's nothing, noises or any weird feeling. Nothing? Okay. Now you're rubbing. Be careful going out the driveway, it's low now. Oh, it's way lower, dude, in the back. All right, guys. We'll get this thing on flat ground, get a good look at it, and then we'll take it for a little test drive and see how the lowering springs feel. I wish I had some spacers for them today, but we'll get those on in the future. It's actually crazy how much lower it is in the rear. When you were driving, it looked low in the rear, but the minute you park it and like backed up, it like lifted the rear up. I bet you it's partially because it's like X-Drive. There's so much weight in the front. It just, but it's like way lower in the front than it is in the rear. It's all right.
Ooh, yeah, it's low in the front.
Yeah, the rear should settle a bit. So we'll take it down the street. We'll go for a quick test drive. All right, guys, so we're in the car now. One thing I like to always do after doing springs is basically just do some U-turns and make sure that there's no weird binding or sounds coming from the front suspension. If you mess up the turn plates, you can create some issues that weren't there pre-existing. So that's cool. In the car, just cruising. Car drives nice and straight. Slight right hand alignment pull, which is to be expected when you play with all the geometry of the suspension. things slightly change, and I always recommend getting an alignment after about 2 weeks of driving to let the springs settle. We're on kind of a bumpy off-camber road here, and honestly it's not a whole lot stiffer than factory, but it's definitely stiffer. Where you really notice it is when you're in eco mode. So we're in Sport Plus right now. We're gonna go ahead and hit this dip, and obviously I wish you guys could feel it, but it's definitely stiffer. It definitely is. Like the front end pushes back harder, but you're deeper in the stroke, and so being electronic dampers, they're gonna really resist compression. Put the thing in eco mode. Gets all nice and quiet. I don't know if the body roll feels any better. It still feels like it has body roll. Anyways, guys, for like 250 bucks, it's probably one of the best bangs for your buck in terms of like the way the car looks and the way the car drives. I always love putting lowering springs on cars. Just visually, it makes the car so much more appealing, and overall improves the general ride quality, especially for those guys that are looking for a little bit sportier feel. The lower center of gravity should make the car a little bit better performing if you were to take it to the track and take it to the canyon, so that's always a nice bonus. Obviously here on the street road you're not going to notice that, but anyhow, very impressed, I would say, with the overall riding quality of the H&R springs. My only wish is that the rear was maybe a tad bit lower. We're gonna put it here on flat surface just so you guys can see it. I'll get a look from the outside, but that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Hopefully you liked it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like. What car should we modify next? And if you have a car, you can bring it to us. So anyhow, we'll let my brother-in-law get back to what he was up to before he came here. He's got some stuff to go do, but we're down to about a 1.5. It's a little bit more than a 1 finger gap. 2 fingers is hard to get in there, so good finger reduction in the front, and it's 2 fingers in the back, which used to be 3. You cannot shove 3 in there, so it's 2 in the back. But yeah, it'll settle a little bit more, and like I said, in a week or two, and really in 6 months it'll settle a lot, but in 2 weeks it'll look even like a 1/4 inch lower, you know? It's much better. And then you put spacers on it and she'll be good.
All right.
Enjoy, brother. Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. We'll see you in the next one. If you like this video, be sure to check out the next one. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe and like the video. It helps a lot. Thanks, and see you in the next one. Let's go!